A special shout out again to the pep band. My daughter plays over there, her alto sax. She's pretty excited about being a participant in that. Nice job to them for kicking off the game in the right way.
Does she have a soundproof room? Goffstown wins the tip. They have the ball there going right to left on your radio dial, wearing maroon uniforms, white numbers, gray trim. And driving the lane is Robbie Bagidi, and a little up and under. And a foul called there as well on Jordan Dyer to start things off. The shot did not go, and actually they ruled that it was on the floor, so Goffstown will inbound from the far side. Nice little inbounds pass and a bucket for Goffstown on the inbound. Miles Green with that bucket, and now Goffstown is in their full court press against Bedford. The Bulldogs in their home white, red numbers, black trim. Little give and go from Justin O'Neill to Jordan Dyer cruising down the lane. Dyer's shot missed, but because of a foul, and Jordan will go to the line and shoot a pair.
A little bit of a soft call there, in my opinion. He went to the basket hard and kind of got a tic-tac foul called, and he'll get to the line and shoot two.
Having played with you, I can tell you that Corey thinks just about everything is a soft foul.
Fight through it. You got to show your muscles there, right, Lauren?
It's the lacrosse in Corey speaking. Jordan Dyer makes both free throws. Bedford on top, or check that. The game tied at 2 apiece. 7:22 remains here in the first quarter of play. Just getting underway. If you're driving around town, you probably shouldn't be because the weather is a little bit sketchy. But if you are looking for something to do, you can come join us here at the Bedford High Gym.
Good cut.
And a great cut to the basket. You nailed it by Miles Green off the pass from Robbie Bagidi. Green has 4, and it's Goffstown 4, Bedford 2.
Yeah, you got Trey Ravenel ball watching, cut back door, and made a nice lay-in.
Pass from Tim Green over to Justin O'Neill to the far side. O'Neill fouled on the floor, and Bedford will inbound over there. That foul called on John Kelly. That's his first. An update for you on, speaking of bad weather, I guess, there is a down tree at 73 Wallace Road as Justin O'Neill, speaking of trees, misses a 3. The rebound to Miles Green.
Nicely played.
Used Nashua, Beals, and Meadow. Anything that Harry gets for us will come through on Nixel, I guess. Bedford trailing 4-2, 6.5 minutes left here in the first period. Bagidi driving the lane, kicks it. Now Goffstown works it around the perimeter. And curling around is Thomas Dutton. Nice little floater from the elbow for Dutton. Now it's 6-2 Goffstown. 6:20 left here in the first. I didn't catch a final in the girls' game, but I believe the end margin in that was Bedford by about 15.
15, I think it was 53-38 if I remember correctly. Yeah, 15-point win for them.
Nice
they really
too.
pulled away at the end there.
A very good Goffstown team. Kelly Walsh doing a great job for Goffstown, and Bedford able to corral her. Bagidi drives the lane, misses. Butts gets the pass from Dyer into the corner. Bedford finds O'Neill, and they say that Justin's feet got ahead of his brain. He travels.
Tough one there. He had Trey Ravenel cutting down the lane, put his big mid out, missed it unfortunately, and turned it over with the travel.
Bagidi slowly bringing it into the front court as he gets some instruction from the head coach, Ryan Cowett. Now driving the lane for Goffstown, John Kelly kicks it out to Miles Green. Green's shot is short. Dyer the rebound. Bedford back the other way. Tim Green into the front court, and he is tangled up, it looked like, with Miles Green over there, and Miles winds up with it. Bagidi with the ball back, and he's leading the fast break for Goffstown, going coast to coast, and Robbie Bagidi puts Goffstown ahead 8-2, and Mark Elmendorf will take a timeout for Bedford. He's trying to stop the bleeding. Not 3 minutes in, and the Bulldogs trail by 6.
Nice quick move by Bagidi right down the lane. Got ahead of steam, got downhill, little shimmy shake at the foul line. Got to the hoop. Looked like Ravenel might have a chance on the defensive help side, but just a fraction of a second too late. And the Goffstown team will go up 8-2.
And for Bedford, really, you're in dire need of offense. They've had a couple turnovers. They really haven't gotten it together. Of course, we're 3 minutes into the game. And this is a Bedford team that a few weeks back had a tough game against Londonderry. They were down by a dozen early in that game, wound up winning by 7. So it is a team that is used to overcoming deficits, but you don't want to intentionally ever put yourself into a big hole.
Yeah, sure. Was that a play on words too? Again, dire need, as Dyer has the only 2 points for
It
Bedford.
occurred to me when I said it.
Yeah, I'm sure. You like those little word games, don't you?
As my wife said, my life is one big dad joke. It is a true story.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad
It's not.
thing.
I don't know. You have an identity. You might as well play into the identity. It is what it is.
Fair enough. Okay,
So-
so 3-2 full court, and they force a turnover as Tim Green travels.
Don't think Bedford was expecting quite the level of pressure that they got. Kelly to inbound for Goffstown, trying to find Miles Green over there. Instead, Ravenel knocks it away. Goffstown ball underneath again. 5:10 left in the first. Bedford trailing 8-2.
And Bedford's jumped into a 2-3 zone instead of their man that they started the game in. Seeing if they can stem the bleeding here.
They got Ravenel 6'3" down in the middle. O'Neal on the far wing. Green on the near wing.
Yeah, Coach Cowett is actually calming down the Goffstown High School supporter student section as he can't hear and communicate with his team. So
I was going to say, more importantly, they can't hear him either.
right, exactly.
Good hands by Tim Green on an entry pass attempt by Samuel O'Hara, and knocks the ball out of bounds. It'll be Goffstown ball, 4:43 left in the first, 8-2. Goffstown leading this one.
Good deflection by Green, disrupting the offensive flow there, making Goffstown reset here.
Bagidi through the legs, now over to the near side to Dutton, and Dutton's three is smooth and silky. He's got 5, and it's Goffstown 11, Bedford 2.
That looked good on the release. Yeah, he was right in rhythm, turned, didn't hesitate at all, and pulled the trigger with nice rotation, with the end result being positive for Goffstown.
O'Neal for 3 from the far side,
Gets
and
it back.
Justin O'Neal's 3 is good. And Bedford gets their first bucket of the game, now trails at 11-5, halfway through this first period of basketball at Bedford High School.
And Bedford jumps back into their man-to-man, so maybe they're only playing that 2-3 on the out of bounds from underneath.
Ball kicked over to the near side to Green, and a set shot is missed. O'Neal gets the rebound. Now he'll play point forward, dribble into the front court, gets it to Dyer on the near side, entry pass to Ravenel.
Go to work.
Ray working the post moves, and now ball kicked over to Connor Butts on the far side. Connor drives, and the ball's knocked away from him off Goffstown. Bedford ball, 11-5, 3:37 left in the first.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been hacked there, although, again, as you said before, it would have been ticky-tack to call that.
I thought you said that. O'Neal misses a 3 from the far side. Goffstown right back the other way. Bagidi bringing it up slowly. His 3 is off. O'Neal gets a rebound. A really uncontested rebound on the defensive end. Bedford into the front court. O'Neal down to Green, off to Dyer, who fakes.
Too strong.
And then his 15-footer's long.
hustle.
Connor Butts doing a great job hustling at the baseline. Tried to knock the ball away and was successful, but it will be Goffstown ball.
It looked like he might have gotten that deflection off the Goffstown player, but the referee did not think so.
That really is the only opinion that matters anyway.
It's true. I tell you what, the excitement's palpable. Both student sections are on their feet. This is a fun one.
I love it. It feels like Hoosiers. Like, what else are you going to do on a Friday night with lousy weather? Come watch basketball. Go get some ice cream. Bagidi driving, kicks to Kelly. Kelly has it knocked away by Ravenel. Now
Cut.
gets it to Green on the cut. Ball knocked away again. Dutton with it. Kicks it over to the far side to Kelly. Now back down low to... And the ball knocked away. The foul called on the shot attempt by Derek Stekowicz.
You know, Trey Ravenel looked incredulous there, but that was kind of an easy one to call. He cut him right across the forearm as Stekowicz was making his move.
And you know, if Corey says it's an easy foul to call, it was egregious. Stekowicz's first one is made, the 6'5" senior knocking it in.
That looks like a tough cover down low for them. He's got some size on him. He's going to make some room underneath. Should eat up a lot of boards and be an offensive threat.
Makes both free throws to Stekowicz, 13-5, Goffstown. 2.5 minutes left here in the first. Butts into the front court to O'Neal. Back over to the far side to Butts. Now O'Neal with it up top to Butts on the far side. Dribbles left and draws it in, pulls it back out, now drives, and the ball knocked away from Connor, and Goffstown right back the other way. Bagidi getting his signals from Calwett.
Yeah, that's a tough turnover for Connor. Certainly you want to try to penetrate that zone and kick, but you don't want to try to dribble through all 5 guys. So not what Coach Elmendorf was looking for.
Big forward Stekowicz from 3 up top.
Got it.
And big guys can hit from outside too. Stekowicz has 5, and it's Goffstown 16, Bedford 5, 150 left here in the first. Pass down low to Ravenel, back up to Butts, now to Green in the paint. Little floater from just inside the free throw line is missed. Goffstown the rebound, back the other way, leading by 11.
Yeah, you said the big guys can hit from 3 as well. Absolutely right. They're looking for those stretch 4s, those stretch power forwards that can pull the defense out, make them guard them from deep.
Ryan Calwett gonna need some cough drops later on in the day. All I hear is him yelling in my right ear. Bagidi drives the lane. The shot is made by the speedy point guard, 5'10" junior. And Bedford now chasing a baker's dozen. It's 18-5 with about a minute left.
Nice body control by Bagidi. Took a little hit there.
Ravenel, little 15-footer from the baseline is good for Trey. 16-7, or check that, 18-7. Favor of Goffstown. Bagidi will take his time a little bit. We'll see how much of the clock Goffstown tries to milk. They have shown some great motion on offense. Gets it down low to Stekowicz. Now out to Bagidi. Stekowicz is guarded there by Trey Ravenel.
They might look for last shot here, although looks like Stekowicz is trying to drive.
Stekowicz kicks to Kelly, drives baseline, shot missed.
I don't know if that was out of bounds or maybe called a 3 seconds in the lane there. I couldn't quite catch that one.
All I could come up with is that Kelly got the baseline with his heel.
Yeah.
So about 20 seconds left here in the first. 18-7. Bedford could sure use a basket, trailing by 11. Ball over to the far side to Butts. JT DeLacy into the game for Bedford. He's got the ball up top to Butts on the far side. Driving baseline is Connor. And as fouled as he goes up for the shot, shot misses, and he'll go to the line and shoot a pair.
A nice drive, got to the rim, got the contact, couldn't finish, but he'll try to convert 2 from the line.
And when you're a little guy going in there among the big guys, it can be a little bit scary.
It can, but he's worked real hard at developing his strength, and he's ready for that contact when he gets close to the rim.
Makes the first free throw, gives him his first point of the game. And now the second one from Connor misses. Fight for the rebound, and they say that it went off of Justin O'Neill. A little jostling there. Justin O'Neill and John Kelly bumping shoulders. 8.7 seconds left here in the first. Bedford trailing 18-8. O'Neill steals the ball. Looked like he knocked it off of Kelly.
Good for him.
Check that. Knocked it off of Miles Green. And Bedford takes about 2.1 seconds off the clock, gets the ball back, and this could be critical. This is usually the kind of stuff that happens to them. Green inbounds, gets it to Butts up top, looks down low to Ravenel, left-handed floater, misses. The rebound out. Now Green, 3 from the far side is good. And Bedford, in the last 9 seconds of this first quarter, gets 4 points. And instead of going into that first break, trailing 18-7, they trail at 18-11, and you can't underestimate that kind of momentum.
You hit the nail on the head, Laura, and that last play, that's the hustle type play, the emotion kind of play, that's something that Bedford Bulldogs really needed to turn around that first quarter. So they were heading into that last little part down, what, 11?
It would have been down 11. Now it's down 7. And I don't know if you saw it, but it was after the out-of-bounds play, the one prior to O'Neill stealing it, he got a nice shoulder bump from John Kelly. And it looked like O'Neill wasn't too happy about that. And harnessed that, instead of doing something dumb, committing a foul, harnessed that into a turnover. And that led to 3 points for the Bulldogs. Big play right there.
Yeah, fires him up. It was great to have it happen right in front of their student section. You're feeling the emotion of their classmates, and turns into 4 points, as you're mentioning. The free throw by Connor Butts and the 3 by Tim Green.
Hey, Bill, can you pan to the student section? Student section. So in case you're not here and are watching it on TV, the Bedford student section is wearing blue tonight, and I asked Athletic Director Corey Parker why that is, and it is a tribute to and 11th grader Daniel Stauber, who passed away earlier this week. So our condolences obviously go out to the Stauber family on the unimaginable loss, and the student section is, of course, paying tribute to Dan. So love to see it when the students come together. Anyway, back to basketball. 7:45 left here in the first half. Connor butts from three from the far side, misses, and the rebound there to Kelly, and Goffstown right back the other way, leading 18-11. 7.5 left in the first half.
Yeah, good box by Kelly. Kept his position down low.
Nice D by Ravenel, forcing the turnover. O'Neal winds up with the ball, loses it, and it's recovered over on the far side by DeLacy. Now gets it back to O'Neal. O'Neal to DeLacy, now back to Butts on the near side. Connor driving, looking down to Ravenel. Ravenel fumbles it, gets it over to O'Neal up top. Now over to the far side to DeLacy. Had a notion at a three, but didn't take it. And now Bedford slowing things down. Now over to DeLacy on the far side. The three rattles around and misses. And right back the other way will be Goffstown, taking their time getting it up, leading by 7. 6:52 left here in the first half.
Bulldogs showed good patience attacking that zone. Couldn't knock the shot down, but
another three from the big man Stekowicz up top. That's his spot. Makes him tough to guard too, but he missed it. And Bedford back the other way, trying to cut into this lead. Now the ball up top to Butts, over to O'Neal on the far side for three, and it's missed. Goffstown gets the rebound, does Kelly. And Cowett talking to Bagidi, and they had a little heart-to-heart right over by the sideline.
It looks like they're really trying to slow it down on the offensive end. They're really not pushing the transition basketball.
Stekowicz just outside the free throw line, misses. Ravenel the rebound, and right back the other way. They're the equivalent of a pitcher with a good changeup. You can't look fastball on these guys. You can't look fast break, but they're also not going to bring it up in the half-court offense either. O'Neal with it, now to DeLacy, now to Green. Green drives, kicks it over to the corner to Butts, thought about a three, now he's stuck. Gets it to Ravenel on the baseline, and Bedford will try to get into an offense. That's really been the struggle for him so far. Ravenel, little 15-footer from the far baseline is good for Trey. He's got 4, and the Bulldogs lead it by 5, 18-13.
That's a good spot to attack that 2-3 zone along that baseline. He also had Tim Green right on the foul line. If Green makes a cut down the lane, he's going to be open too, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on that 2-3.
Nice baseline cut by Miles Green. He misses the shot. O'Neal gets the rebound. Big outlet pass to Green. Now to Butts, now to Green in the corner. The three is short. Nice try there by DeLacy on the rebound, but it's snagged by John Kelly. 5:05 left here in the first half. Goffstown has been outscored by Bedford 8-0 in this run, and the three there is missed by Thomas Dutton, and right back the other way is Bedford still trying to cut into things. Nice entry pass, Green, Ravenel, now back out to DeLacy. Misses the shot just a little bit long.
Yeah, they're definitely getting better looks this quarter. Just not knocking down any of those open shots.
Green with it on the far side. Now back to the big man Stekowicz, who dragged Ravenel away from the basket. Green, a three from the far side. That one is short. Goffstown hasn't had a point yet this quarter.
Yeah, shooting has definitely cooled off on both sides. There's that foul line.
Tim Green from the elbow misses. And Goffstown will take a timeout. I think Ryan Cowett might have heard us, but at one point they were up in the ball game 18-5. That was the big lead. I didn't catch when that was. I'm going to guess it was somewhere around the 45, 50-second mark left in the first.
That's about right.
So Goffstown has been over 5 minutes without a point. And Ryan Cowett's just kind of trying to right the ship, see if they can add to that lead before halftime. But it's not like Bedford's been dominating the world on offense either. 13 points through the better part of 12 minutes of basketball.
Right, I was going to say it really hasn't been any change on defense. The pressure seems pretty similar throughout. It seems like the shooters have just gone a little cold on both ends.
So Cowett takes a timeout. He will run out there with his same starting 5.
I think we have Aiden O'Connell's checked in,
too. We do have Aiden O'Connell in there. The freshman, 5'9", over on the far side. And a foul called there on DeLacy on the floor for Bedford, 3 team fouls. So now it's Bagidi with the ball way up top, trying to set something up. Kelly curling down low. Stekowicz with the ball, hoping for that big three up top. Now it's Bagidi up top, crossover, driving to the lane, kicks to Stekowicz. The three misses. And the rebound to Lacey. Bedford back the other way.
Got another open look, and that shooting stays cold for Goffstown at least now, and we'll see what happens on Bedford's side.
Pass over to the far side to Lacey. Now to Butts up top for three. It misses. Stekowicz the rebound, and Bedford trails by 5. Goffstown comes back the other way. Nice hands there by DeLacy as he knocks the shot of John Kelly back to him, and then Kelly makes it in the lane. Yeah, Goffstown up 20-13.
John Kelly really stuck with that, bobbled the ball, and then O'Neal actually got a hand in after that to disrupt his flow, but he still fought through it, was able to finish low.
Every time O'Neal touches that ball, he's picking up a double team.
Yeah, as they should. You know, he's gone into the high post there with Green out. So he needs to be really active in there, try to get that ball in, collapse the defense, and then look for shooters around the perimeter.
Butts kicks it down low to Ravenel. Great pass, and Trey is able to control the ball and convert from the paint.
Yeah, that's going to be open. So O'Neal's drawing that center up high into that high post. So you're going to have those low cutters open, and Butts found Ravenel on that nice cut.
I feel like we've gotten passes like that from Butts' dad before on the basketball court.
Absolutely. I love playing with Mr. Butts.
Good
Jeff
point.
and I have played several seasons together, and we pair pretty well together. As Stekowicz drains another three from the top of the key.
Big man Stekowicz makes his second. He's got 8. High point man for Goffstown, leading by 8. And now right back the other way comes Bedford. DeLacy looking up top to Dyer, now to Butts. And over to the far side to Dyer, who
split it, nice.
Kicks it over to DeLacy. Beautiful pass right through the middle. DeLacy hung on, and the foul was on the body. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, Miles Green came over, made a desperation attempt on that defensive side. Got the ball, but unfortunately for him, got body too. So DeLacy will try to cash at the line as he misses the first.
Bedford trying to cut into that 8-point Goffstown lead, trailing 23-15, 2:01 remains here in the first half. The second one from JT is good, and now Goffstown leads by 7. Green in, DeLacy out. Yeah, it's funny. You look at Connor and you look at his dad, they have similar games in terms of pass first point guards, and you wonder where Connor picked it up from.
I'll tell you what, no offense to Jeff, but Connor's a lot quicker at this point.
Well, we don't know how quick Jeff was back in the day. He may have been.
Fair enough. Nice move.
Nice move there. Bagidi cashes in another one. He's got 6. Goffstown's on top 9, 25-14. And Butts, a deep 3 there. Misses long. Rebound to Green. Bedford trailed at one point by 13, 18-5.
Bedford's having a tough time handling Bagidi's quickness. He's getting down the lane. That last time drove hard with his left, pivoted back to his right, finished under the basket. Excellent move by the point.
Stekowicz playing up top is really clearing some space for him too.
Ooh.
Almost a backcourt violation there. Kelly with it for Goffstown. About a minute left here in the first half. 25-16 in favor of Goffstown. Bagidi drives the lane, gets it to Stekowicz. Nice job by Bedford to come up with the ball. Mark Elmendorf trying to call a timeout, but instead they say it was a jump ball before he got to it.
Hustle play by Jordan Dyer, got his hands on the ball. Looked like it could have been a travel as he slid along the floor, but instead we'll have a jump. And it'll go to Goffstown on possession.
So 56 seconds left here in the first half. Goffstown leads by 9, 25-16. And a pass up top, almost picked off there by Ravenel. Stekowicz dribbling around out there. He is a three-point threat.
You know, as Bedford extends their defense here, they're trying to get some pressure. We're going to have to watch for some backdoor cutting.
It is also interesting. You wonder how long it'll take him to move the big man Stekowicz down low, which sure enough they are doing. And it looks like even though they got the ball 49 seconds into the possession, they were going to play for a last shot Bagidi was driving the lane. A little two-handed push there by Jordan Dyer. The foul on the floor. And
yeah,
now
hand check as he got a little bit of a step on him.
No harm. Not going to the line shooting anything. O'Connell to inbound. Having a tough time finding anybody, but does. Now Bagidi with it. Just under 20 seconds left here in half number one. Bedford trailing by 9. Bagidi guarded closely by Connor Butts. Near the half-court line, Bagidi to the right hand, drives the lane, up and under. The shot misses, and a bit of a late whistle on it.
Jeez, I'm not sure I saw that foul. They're going to call it on Trey Ravenel for his second. Must have been some contact that I didn't see, but again, we go back to those ticky-tack soft fouls. Robbie Bagidi, nice drive, quickness, got to the rim, and now he got to the line.
Bagidi's first one is missed. Goffstown changing things up a little bit. Thomas Dutton, Samuel O'Hara in, and Aiden O'Connell and Derek Stekowicz out. 6.8 left here in the first half. Bedford trailing by 9, 25-16. Second free throw from Bagidi is good. That gives him 7. O'Neal dribbling quickly into the front court for Bedford. Takes a 3 as time's about to expire. The rebound picked up there, though, by Jordan Dyer, and the follow is good. And Bedford winds up with 2 points here in the last second of the first half. So, Corey, if we're looking at the first quarter and the second quarter, Bedford's pulled about 6 points out in about 11 seconds.
Good call there, and their offense really going to need to start clicking in the second half. You can't win games when you're only scoring 18 points and a half. So we'll see what adjustments they make. Good first half on both sides in this electric environment here. Student sections are excited. We've had some good plays early on. It's been a game so far.
Our score at halftime is 26-18 in favor of Goffstown. This might be the first time in one of these broadcasts I've ever worn a shirt with buttons. You probably wear that every day to work, but I try to avoid dressing like a grown-up. So
you look sharp.
Today I am. I appreciate it.
The camera is smiling at you.
It should be. For Bedford, the high point man at halftime, Trey Ravenel. He's got half a dozen. Tim Green, or check that, Jordan Dyer with 4. Tim Green, Justin O'Neal with 3 apiece. And Connor Butts and JT DeLacy also with 1. On the other side of the coin, Goffstown is led by Derek Stekowicz with 8. He had those 2 big threes. Robbie Bagidi with 7, the speedy point guard. Thomas Dutton with 5, Miles Green with 4, and John Kelly with 2. So where we stand after our first 16 minutes of play, it's been high energy, but as you mentioned, Bedford needs to find a little bit of offense.
You're absolutely right. You went through the statistics there. No real foul trouble, so we'll see if the defensive side, they get out a little bit more aggressive, try to get in, disrupt the play. But you're right, the offensive side, they're going to need to find their flow. The 2-3, they haven't really solved it yet. The shooting's been rather cold, and they're going to need to do something to turn this around in the second half. It's
a great atmosphere here tonight at the Bedford High Gym. Unfortunately, the basketball not quite too good. If you're a Bedford fan, they'll go into intermission trailing by 8, 26-18. We'll be back for second half action. You are listening to Bedford Bulldog basketball on Bedford 105.1 and BCTV. Hey, welcome back to the Bedford High Gym. Lauren Fox, Corey Munster-Tiger, and the Bedford Bulldogs hosting the Goffstown Grizzlies in a boys basketball game. The girls basketball game, in kind of an odd situation, was the early game. It was a 5 o'clock game. So you walk in and it's a doubleheader of basketball, 53-38 the final in that one. And Corey, in this one, we're at 26-13 after the first 16 minutes. Anything you saw in particular that stood out?
Yeah, just a quick correction. It's 26-18, no problem on that. What stood out was poor shooting. Poor shooting on both sides, more so on the Bulldogs side than the Goffstown side. But again, Goffstown comes out in their 2-3, and we talked about the Bedford Bulldogs needing to knock down some open shots.
Bedford swinging the ball around, gets it to Butts on the far side, kicks it over to the near side to Dyer for 3. And whatever Coach Mark Elmendorf said must have worked. The Bulldogs knocked down a 3 that is just their 3rd of the game. Now trail it 26-21.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, they pick up an open shot, knock it down, and then they get an offensive foul on the backside here with Sam O'Hara picking up a moving screen. So they cut it to 5, and with a chance to get even closer here in Bedford's second offensive possession.
Ball swung around by the Bulldogs. O'Neal back to Butts, now looks down low to Ravenel. A little baseline J is good from Trey.
And just like that, it's a one-possession game here, Lauren.
Bizarre, 26-23. 7:05 left here in the third quarter. Bagidi with a three, his three misses. O'Neal gets the rebound, and Bedford with a chance to tie on this possession. Green to O'Neal, back to Green. The three from Tim is off the front iron, over the backboard.
You know, he saw an open shot real quick early in the possession. Why not pull the trigger? Their first two possessions worked pretty well, moving that basketball around a little bit.
It looked like we might have had a travel there from Samuel O'Hara, and he got away with one. Ball back over to the near side to Dutton. Dutton drives baseline.
Look at that.
Throws down an elbow into Connor Butts and a little bit of a forearm shiver. And an offensive foul called there on Thomas Dutton.
Yeah, quick feet by Connor Butts. Made good position play. And caused Dutton to get that chicken wing out, push him off a little bit.
Bedford into the front court. Dyer over to O'Neal on the far side. Now to Butts. Back down to the corner to Dyer.
Their passing looks a lot sharper as they start the third quarter here.
Mark Elmendorf, motivational speaker. Bedford trails by 3. 6:10 left here in the third. Just working the ball around, getting space. O'Neal for 3, misses. Rebound Kelly, and Goffstown will bring it right back the other way.
And sometimes you could tell from the arc of that ball. Ooh, good hand by Dyer. Good steal, and this might be good. Uh-oh. There you go, that's intentional.
Yep.
Justin didn't like that. Justin O'Neal certainly didn't like it. He was getting ready to go up for a dunk there, get a hard foul by John Kelly. Refs were right on top of it, though. They called the intentional pretty quickly.
There isn't a whole lot of room for that anyway.
Yeah, you know, that's the way somebody gets hurt, especially as they're getting ready to rise up. And, you know, it's a tough one. You don't want to try to be physical. You don't want to give up easy baskets, but you also don't want to hurt somebody severely. And that was the exact situations the refs are trying to avoid. As O'Neal hits the first of 2 on that intentional foul. They'll get the ball back here. And wow, what a turn of events with another foul shot. It's a 1-point game. So it's 26-24. Wow.
Who had the steal on that one to start? Was that Dyer?
Dyer, yeah, got a good hand in on Robbie Bagidi as he was driving to the basket. Quick outlet up to O'Neal as he gets out quickly into transition. Had a step on John Kelly, and that's when Kelly wrapped him up. You know, kudos to him. He didn't, you know, take his leg out. He wrapped him up a little bit, but it certainly was intentional, and that's why we see O'Neal on the line.
If this were a game with a production truck and replays and all that sort of stuff, we would have seen 2 replays as this happens. Replay number 1 would have been the steal by Dyer on that drive by Bagidi that led to the outlet pass from O'Neal. So I guess that's technically 1 play that's 2 plays, but a big play for Bedford where you look at what an offensive threat Bagidi has been as O'Neal makes the second one, giving him 5. But you look at what an offensive threat Bagidi is, he goes in, he's got a shot at a layup. Instead, this could be a 5-point play for Bedford.
Yes, sir. It could be more, right? So 2 points off the board for Goffstown, 2 already on, and we'll see if they can convert here on another basket.
Green at the foul line, now back out to Butts. He's got Dyer over on the far side, finds him now to O'Neal up top. Over to Dyer on the far side for 3 is good. Jordan Dyer, a big 3. And the Bedford Bulldogs now lead it 28-26, 10-0 run. Or actually a 12-0 run, if I were to say correctly. Bagidi driving the lane, got a man, it's Kelly. O'Neal went up, check that, Ravenel went up for the block and did not get it, but unfortunately picks up the foul. That's number 3 on Trey.
Yeah, you're right. You know, help defense came across, got a lot of the ball, but got the hand too. So he's going to send John Kelly to the line. Yeah, that effectively was a 7-point swing there as you look back on that last sequence. Bagidi getting deep into the lane, could have had a basket, instead turns it over. They get the 2 free throws down the other end, so that's 4 points, and then bury the 3 by Dyer. You get a 7-point swing there.
Now Kelly breaks the Goffstown cold spell, makes it 28-27 Bedford, 5:15 left here in the third, and the Bulldogs look like a team possessed. That ends a 12-0 run for Bedford, which I guess is still a 12-1 run. And Begidi with the ball on the floor on the far side after knocking it away from Connor Butts. They'll say a jump ball, and it'll be Goffstown ball over on the far side, but the arrow goes back to Bedford, and that is something that is important in a game like this.
It certainly is. A little casual approach by Connor Butts. He was a little bit lackadaisical there as Robbie Begidi was putting some pressure on, got a tip in, went into the backcourt, and Begidi made a nice hustle play. Regained possession for Goffstown.
Begidi down low to Stekowicz. Ball knocked away from Stekowicz and back to Begidi up top. And now he'll do a crossover. The ball knocked away from him by
DeLacy.
JT DeLacy. Now Begidi steals it back from him. O'Neal tries to block Begidi's shot, can't get it. And Begidi rattles in a little layup. That gives him 9 and gives Goffstown a lead, 29-28.
Yeah, if that had not gone in, they might have got a goaltending call on O'Neal for rattling the backboard there. So good transition. Another hand in by Begidi sets the transition here again. Can't finish.
Nice D played there by JT DeLacy. Good no call on that one. Butts with the ball in the front court.
Good dish.
And DeLacy winds up getting the ball back off the pass from Butts. And Bedford now leads at 30-29.
The excitement's ratcheting up. A few lead changes here. A run by the Bulldogs to start the half, and we have a 1-point game.
3 lead changes here in the third quarter. Now make that 4. Goffstown leads 31-30. And it was Thomas Dutton on that basket. That gives him 7. Now ball over to the far side, back over to the near side to Butts. And it is DeLacy with it up top. Now Butts with it on the near side, back over to the far side. DeLacy just trying to swing it around. Connor thought about a 3. Now Dyer with it. Drives base. A little floater just inside the baseline from Jordan Dyer. He's having quite the game on offense. Got 12 for the game. And now Bedford leads at 32-31.
Yeah, don't underestimate that shot there. That was a tough floater as he's getting across the lane there. Mid-range shot. It wasn't quite a layup. Wasn't quite a 15-footer. That was a skillful shot by Jordan Dyer for his 12th point.
Begidi for 3 from the near side, misses. Rebound there, DeLacy. Bedford back the other way, leading by 1. 2:55 left here in the third. If you're watching this one on TV, enjoy it. If you're listening to it on the radio, don't get out of your car. Ball stolen there by Miles Green.
Yeah, tough turnover there by JT DeLacy as Coach Elmendorf slaps the front of his forehead there. Got to have good ball security in a tight game like this.
Bedford leading by 1, 32-31, 2.5 minutes left in the game. Begidi kicks it out to Dutton on the near side. Dutton kicks it over to the far side now to Kelly. Kelly drives baseline.
Good drive.
Makes the shot, and is John Kelly. Nice tough shot. And Goffstown leads at 33-32. Quickly into the front court is Bedford. Green, Butts. DeLacy now back to Green down low. Gets it over to Justin O'Neal. Good ball movement by Bedford still.
You know, they need Ravenel running the baseline here. That really opens things up.
And another 3 from Jordan Dyer. Have a game, kid.
But you know what else opens things up? Jordan Dyer draining from deep for his 15th point. Nice shot.
Bedford leads now 35-33. This one's like watching tennis now. Begidi thought about a 3, instead gets it to Dutton up top. Dutton looks down low to Stekowicz. Uses his body, moves O'Neal away, misses the hook, and O'Neal will get it to Butts, who brings it into the front court. Buckle up, 35-33 Bedford, 1:25 left here in the third.
See if we get a heat check here from Dyer.
Hey, dude, that's words out of my mouth.
Ooh, tough one there.
O'Neal went driving into the paint, kicked it over to the near side to Dyer, and they said that he did the bunny hop before he got rid of it, so it will be Goffstown ball back the other way.
Kuleza checks in for Connor Butts.
7 lead changes here in the third. Begidi gets it to Dutton driving base.
Ooh, tough call.
And it looked like it was, yep, they said they got Danny Kuleza for the
backside
block. Or check that for the foul somewhere on the arm, the body, what have you.
Yeah, Green came over with good help defense. Kuleza looked like he might have hacked him from behind, although it was a tight play all around.
Dutton's first free throw misses. Goffstown as a team, 4 for 7 from the line.
You know,
So that is
Ravenel's
what-
been sitting on the bench with those 3 fouls. Probably going to look to have him come back here. I don't know if they'll take the risk with the last minute in the third quarter, but he certainly will be out there for the start of the fourth.
My bet would be they leave him down for the third, back out for the fourth. Dutton makes his second one. 5 free throws out of 8 made by Goffstown. And Dutton has 8 points. Kaliza will bring it up for the Bulldogs. Leading at 35-34. Kaliza finds Green over on the near side. Butt's getting a little bit of a break too. Dyer crosses over, drives into the paint. Nice
beautiful.
little floater up and under from Jordan Dyer. 17 now for Jordan. And the Bulldogs lead it 37-34. For Bedford, it is their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, good for Dyer. Came alive here. Really helped out the cause for the Bulldogs, getting the point production they were sorely lacking throughout the first half.
25 seconds left here in the third. Bagidi to Stekowicz down low,
Ooh.
back out to Bagidi. You saw the
Surprised to
travel
kick that
too?
back out. Well, I didn't see the travel. I thought they might ISO on that. You know, Stekowicz has a good size advantage there.
Bagidi for 3, misses. Kelly trying to just volley it back up, unable to do so, and ball goes out of bounds. Bedford ball. 12 seconds left here in the third quarter. Kaliza with it into the front court to DeLacy over on the far side. DeLacy for 3, looking for a point. Goffstown gets the rebound, does Green. He'll fire it up from about 30 and misses the shot. And after 3 quarters, 24 minutes of basketball, it's Goffstown and Bedford, the Bulldogs on top of Bedford, 37-34. But don't forget, we went into halftime with Bedford trailing 26-38. They scored more points in the last 8 minutes than they did in the first 16. They scored 19 in this one to Goffstown's 8.
Absolutely huge turnaround for them, and all generated by Dyer on that offensive side. A couple big threes, good drives down the lane, finishing tough floaters, getting to the rim. He's the spark that they've been looking for, and they certainly have appreciated as they take a 3-point lead into the fourth quarter.
It's interesting when you watch, because there have been certain names that just come up and you're used to them. Justin O'Neill is one who's a big point source. Connor Butts has been one who's been a good resource on offense. Jordan Dyer hasn't been a name that we've mentioned quite as much, but when we saw him on that last drive, the confidence that he had driving the hoop, you could see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. You know, normally I'm thinking he's probably second, maybe third scorer on this team, and he certainly took over that third quarter. So interestingly, as you mentioned, Justin O'Neill normally thought of as that first scorer. He's only got 5 right now, so perhaps he blows up here in the fourth quarter as a quick inbounds comes to Ravenel, as we talked about him coming back in, but he turns it over, and Goffstown gets the ball with Robbie Bagidi driving hard but can't finish.
Ravenel gets the rebound. Dyer with the ball, bringing it up to the front court to O'Neill. O'Neill for
That's
3,
off.
and that one, you thought it was off. I thought it
Yeah.
looked good. It was a little bit short. We had the angle on it. Bedford leads by 3, 37-34, 7.5 left in this ball game. Goffstown led by as many as 13. Bedford is led by as many as 3. Pass down low to Stekowicz, doing a nice job creating space with his body. Stekowicz gets the bucket. That gives him 10.
Good touch for the big guy down low. Created space with the shoulder. Had a nice little finish with the right hand into the lane as O'Neill gets down the lane. Gets fouled by Stekowicz, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Looked for a second like the 6'6" O'Neill was going to rise up and flush that one.
I'm not sure he has that kind of hops in him. Certainly he's put on some good spectacles earlier in the season, but I'm not sure he's going to rise up from the middle of the lane and rattle the rim.
It's not quite as easy to do that as it is on a fast break, says the 5'10" guy.
That's from experience, right, Lauren?
Yeah, you know, on the Nerf hoop that hangs on the back of the door. O'Neill makes the first, gives Bedford a 38-36 lead. Now the second from Justin. Gets every part of the rim and falls in. Again, the Bulldogs lead by 3, 39-36. Just past the 7-minute mark here in the ball game remaining. Great crowd on hand, a full student section. Goffstown seems like it's brought half the town too. Stekowicz misses a little up and under. Ravenel the rebound, and now Bedford back the other way, trying to increase this lead. 6:40 left in the game, up 3.
A good shoulder shake by Stekowicz. Got himself to the rim, but couldn't finish. And Ravenel scooped up that defensive rebound.
Gets it over to Justin
Good
O'Neal,
shot.
floating toward the baseline, and O'Neal's 15-footer is good, and can't sleep on him. Justin with 9 now, and the Bulldogs lead by 5.
Yeah, geez, you say his name as a potential explosion in the fourth quarter. He comes with 4 quick points to put him up by 5.
We must have said his name 3 times like he's Beetlejuice. 6:05 left here in the game. Bulldogs on top, 5, 41-36. Stekowicz just outside the foul line, misses. Nice job trying to get the rebound by Kelly, but Tim Green somehow winds up with it, and Bedford's on the fast break. Justin O'Neal picks up his dribble, drives the lane, can't get the little finger roll to fall. And the Bulldogs, you have a feeling, might need those points later. Bagidi drives the lane, draws it back out, back to Stekowicz, deep 3, doesn't get anything. And the rebound to Connor Butts, and Bedford back the other way, down to the corner to Dyer, now back up to Green. Bedford will settle things down on offense, leading by 5, 5.5 minutes left in the game. Dyer up top, through the legs, over to the corner to Tim Green. Thought about a 3, instead pulls it back out, and Bedford will reset, 5:20 left in the game.
Yeah, so you notice Coach Calwett has gone to a man defense now. They got hurt early in the got hurt early in the second half here. They switched out to man just to switch up their flow on defense.
Connor Butts had an open 3, missed it. Goffstown gets the rebound. Green with it up top. We haven't heard much from him lately. He had 4 points early in the game.
Another forced turnover by Jordan Dyer. Got his hand in, and it comes off Robbie Bagidi off that deflection, and it goes back to the Bulldogs. Jordan Dyer having a night.
Jordan Dyer having a great night out on the court for the Bulldogs. He's got 17 in the game, the high point man. And I mentioned Miles Green's name. He had the first 4 points for Goffstown, and we haven't heard his name since, really, in the scoring column.
Yeah.
The guys who've been shooting, it's sort of changed things up. Stekowicz has been a man shooting, and Bagidi has really been a threat driving to the hoop. So interesting to see how Goffstown has changed things up on offense as the game has gone on.
I agree with that. You know, we haven't seen Miles Green. He's been out there. He's been in the mix, but no points, no fouls. You know, just kind of there. But you're right. Bagidi's been getting to the rim with his quickness. It seems like they've made some switches on defense to try to switch up that matchup. And as you mentioned, Stekowicz, you know, got a couple of deep 3s. Early move into the lane, I guess a couple minutes ago here to get a nice bucket, but the scoring has kind of dried up for Goffstown as well. The shooting gone cold, and it has not picked back up.
Goffstown's got 10 points in 11 minutes here in this second half. Bulldogs will inbound. Goffstown in a full court press, a deep pass from Green to Ravenel, and Ravenel diving after the ball after it was knocked away from him, but can't maintain possession. It'll be Goffstown ball. Good idea by Tim Green, good arm.
Yeah, tough bounce there. It looked like Stekowicz got back there, got a hand in, and ball deflected off of Trey Ravenel out of bounds.
4:45 left in the game. The Bulldogs on top by 5. Stekowicz down low. Tried a little spin move, and
that's Ravenel's 4th there.
Yep, wound up getting fouled by Ravenel. Stekowicz will go to the line and shoot 2.
And Coach Elmendorf's going to sub out Ravenel with JT DeLacy, so he can hopefully get a couple more quality minutes down the stretch.
Stekowicz made his first 2 free throws in the first half, just missed the first one. Ravenel coming out of the ball game.
Bedford goes smaller here as JT DeLacy doesn't have quite the same size as Ravenel.
And that may create some sort of matchup issues with Stekowicz down low too, and you got to believe that Ryan Kowet has seen that. Stekowicz makes the second. He's now got 9, or check that he's got 11 in the game.
Yeah, we'll see who they switch off to guard Stekowicz on that defensive side. As you mentioned, there could be a matchup issue here.
Butts with the ball was hemmed in over on the near side, and Mark Elmendorf didn't like what he saw. Took a timeout, wisely so. It is, I know I keep alluding to it, but it's really a neat atmosphere in the gym tonight. We are not used to having a full student section to our right, but we do. The Bedford student section is completely full. The stands on the far side are about 85% full, and if you look at the entry of the gym, that's full. It's neat.
An electric atmosphere. You got live music. You got media. You got radio, TV, students.
You'd think there was a primary going on.
Cheerleaders.
I mean, seriously, dude.
Training staff.
There's more action going on than there was downtown today. 4:20 left in the game. Bedford on top by 4, 41-37 over Goffstown. Driving the lane is Connor Butts. Misses the shot, gets his own rebound. And Begidi fouls him on the way up and then did a nice job of holding on to Connor, because otherwise Connor was going to hit the floor hard.
Yeah, it's good sportsmanship. You know, Connor made a great hustle play to get that ball back for the Bulldogs. Somewhat hard foul by Begidi, but kept him up. And Bulldogs go back to the offensive side here.
Dyer to DeLacy up top. O'Neal just trying to get a little space and create something. Now Green with it over on the far side. Bedford on top by 4. 4 minutes left in the game. Dyer with it, full head of steam, drives the lane, kicks it to Butts.
You know, O'Neal's got a size mismatch here, too. If they get him on the blocks, he would have some room for a shot. There it is.
He's had a size mismatch with Dutton for a while, but Dutton is stuck to him like he's glue. Now a little entry pass to Dyer, shot missed. Nice job by DeLacy getting the rebound, though, and Bedford will start the possession again. It's Butts driving the lane, kicks it to DeLacy, turned down a shot. And now Bedford will reset a little bit on offense.
Okay, looking for a quality shot. You can't deny that he had the open shot, but Coach Elmendorf likes the patience there. So,
I mean, it looks like it looks like Ryan Cowett said to Dutton, "Find out what kind of gum Justin O'Neal's chewing." Justin O'Neal gets the rebound off the miss by Dyer. Dyer drives the lane, gets fouled on the floor.
Yeah, basket won't count.
Basket will not count. It is foul number 6 for Goffstown, however, here in the second half, and the foul called on Stekowicz. It is number 3 on him.
His third. Again, forcing the action. Jordan Dyer, drive down the lane, drawing the foul. Have a night, kid.
O'Neal still with that size mismatch with Dutton, but Dutton is all over him. 3 minutes left in the game. The Bulldogs of Bedford lead Goffstown 41-37. A little pass down low to O'Neal. Kicks it to Dyer on the far side. Had a 3, declined it. And now it's DeLacy, gets it back to Green up top. And the clock continues to run. And O'Neal continues to have that mismatch down low. Butts found him a second too late. And then Begidi fouled Butts. And Butts will go to the line and shoot 2. For Begidi, that is foul number 2. And we have officially now gotten to the point of the game where it will crawl.
It sure will. 1-1 here for Connor Butts. And here's where the free throw shooting practice is really going to pay off for the Bulldogs if they can knock down their opportunities here. But you saw the quick double from Robbie Begidi as Connor Butts hits the first. The quick double by Robbie Begidi, when your defensive player doubles down, you got to make a cutoff ball. Connor just stood there, unfortunately, and Begidi was able to recover.
Second one from Connor also good, so you make a 1-and-1 and you hit both of them. That's big.
That's quality right there.
Bedford's biggest lead of the game now is 6, 43-37, 2:35 remains here in the game. Aiden O'Connell with the ball up top, the freshman. Crossing over now to Kelly. Kelly will drive the lane. The shot is missed. Ravenel gets the rebound. He's back in the game. We somehow missed that one.
Yeah, you heard some murmurs from the crowd there. I agree with them.
I thought it was a
Ravenel hit the backboard pretty hard and could have been called for a goaltend. Refs didn't see it that way as Connor Butts makes a nice drive, gets to the lane, and finishes right at the rim. Great drive.
One thing he can do is finger roll. Bedford now on top by 8. 2 minutes left in the game. 45-37.
Nice finish. Well, they're still in there 2-3.
Aiden O'Connell thought about a 3, then decided otherwise. Back to Green, now to O'Connell. Might have traveled, and sure enough, they called it.
And you're all over that one. Connor Butts getting over there quickly on defense. Causes the freshman to make a turnover there as he stutters his feet. Timeout by Coach Cowett. We go in with Bedford taking an 8-point lead into the last minute 50.
So a big turn of events for the Bulldogs. They trailed it 26-18 at the half. They trailed it 18-5 early in the game. And since then, they have outscored Goffstown 40-19.
Math is hard, isn't
Math is hard. Oh, dude, it's been a long week. I just have nothing else to say.
it? Yeah, kudos to
you know
them,
the
though.
drill, man.
Yeah.
Math is hard. In this second half of play, Bedford has outscored Goffstown 19-11. Check that. No, 27-11.
There you go.
Math is even harder.
Math is hard. Kids at home,
Yikes.
make sure you go to math class, study hard, okay? Please.
That STEM education. Would you believe I'm an accounting and finance major from
Oh,
way back?
gosh.
No, never.
So what are they talking about here, Lauren? Both sides here. Last minute 50, what's Coach Elmendorf talking about? What's Coach Cowett talking about?
Well, for Elmendorf, the clock's his friend. He's trying to find a way to milk clock. For Goffstown, they got, 3 fouls till Bedford's in the double bonus. So they have to be judicious about how they use those, but they got to keep short possessions for Bedford. Inbound from Green to Ravenel, and Ravenel quickly fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah, so we see the strategy right out of the get-go here. Minute 50 left. Coach Cowett wants to use that bonus situation to his advantage, try to get the clock stopped. Hope that Bedford's going to miss a few free throws here.
First one from Trey is short. Goffstown gets the rebound. And right back the other way come the Grizzlies, trailing by 8, 140 left in the game, 45-37 Bedford. O'Hara gets it over to the near side to Kelly, and Bagidi winds up missing a layup. Ravenel gets the rebound. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot another 1-and-1.
Yeah, do you have the free throw percentages right there on your computer from the season?
No, I got nothing.
Do we have a stat guy in the truck that can get us that information quickly? We want to see who the Bedford free throw shooters are that are going to really be clutch down the stretch here.
Bedford as a whole has been clutch today. They are 10 of 13 from the free throw line. First one from Trey is good. So
that's what you need to do.
The front end of the 1-and-1s. That's the difference between winning and losing. And we saw early in the season, Bedford missed the front end of a couple 1-and-1s, wound up costing them a game against Wyndham. They shouldn't have lost. That one kept alive by Tim Green, and now the Bulldogs have a chance to increase this 9-point lead as Connor Butts is fouled by Robbie Bagidi.
That's a hustle play by Timmy Green there, getting high up on that rebound, tapping it out, getting another possession for Bedford, and they spin it for a couple of quick passes and finally draw another foul. Connor Butts back to the line for 2 as we're in the double bonus.
First one rattles around, misses. He'll go to the line and try for his second one. Robbie Bagidi has 4 fouls as well for Goffstown. 1:24 left in the game. Bedford on top by 9. This is their biggest lead of the game. And now Butts' second is good. And it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Bedford's up by 10, their biggest lead of the game. Bagidi dribbling into the front court, gets it over to Stekowicz, and Stekowicz's 3 is missed, and the ball batted around, and Tim Green winds up getting the rebound and gets it to Connor Butts, who is fouled and will go to the line and shoot 2 more.
The Bulldogs were swarming on that defensive rebound, exactly what you need in this kind of situation. Get possession of the ball and hang out, wait till they foul you.
So 1:13 left in the game. Bedford on top by 10. First one is made by Connor Butts. The Bulldogs led it 37-34 after 3 and have now outscored Goffstown 11-3 here in the fourth. Check that, 12-3 as they lead it 49-37. Bagidi into the front court over to the near side to Miles Green. Now up to the freshman, Aiden O'Connell, loses the ball. Jordan Dyer with the steal and recovers it. And Dyer dribbles into the front court quickly, gets it to Connor Butts, who is fouled. And Connor will pad his stats here, one would hope. Go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, it looked like Coach Cowett actually didn't want them to foul there, and yet they did, and send Connor back to the line. And he'll try to cash in on 2 more free throws. You know, I would think that they would look for Derek Stekowicz to drain something from the top of the key. He's really been the only one with some 3-pointers, although an early one by Tom Dutton. And Coach Elmendorf takes a couple of his more seasoned players out. And they come to the bench with high fives and high tens all around.
Matt Ferrucci into the game for Bedford. Connor Butts makes the second one there, and Danny Kalisa comes into the game as well. Camden Roberts, Danny Kalisa, and Matt Ferrucci now to the game for the Bulldogs. Bagidi will kick it over to the far side to O'Hara. His three misses. O'Neill with the rebound, and 45 seconds left in the game. The Bulldogs have their biggest lead, the biggest lead for either team, 13. And O'Neill into the front court now, gets it to Dyer, and they say a foul on Robbie Bagidi.
Now Dyer should get a hand from the student section here. He's had a night.
And so Robbie Bagidi fouls out. Big night for Jordan Dyer. That's as good as I've seen him play.
And unfortunately, the student section does not recognize it. They're not the Cameron Crazies, but, you know, they've come out in force tonight. They've been rowdy. But heck of a night for Jordan Dyer. Points, defensive plays, steals, rebounds. Great job by number 12 in white. Heck of a night.
New face into the game for Bedford as well, who does not appear on our roster, so I'm going to apologize to his parents in advance.
Yeah, I think he's a JV player. Forget his name, unfortunately. I apologize as well.
You haven't been scouting the JVs. O'Neill makes both free throws there, and he'll come out of the game. And honestly, at the point in time when the Bulldogs were trailing at 18-5, I didn't think we were going to wind up with this. A three-pointer there, missed by Miles Green. Bedford gets the rebound. Kalisa into the front court to Roberts. Now back to Kalisa. Bedford will just move around on offense. You hope that some of these guys who haven't gotten a whole lot of time will get a shot. And Kalisa is fouled for some inexplicable reason by John Kelly, and will go to the line and shoot two.
And that's number 5 on Kelly. He'll come out as Kalisa goes to the line. Opportunity for him for 2 free throws. But at this point, yeah, you're right. It's out of reach. Do we need that foul with 19 seconds left? Probably not, but Kalisa appreciates it as he hits the first.
Gets on the stat sheet, does Danny Kalisa. He did get a foul earlier. Bedford now on top by 16, 53-37. And Kalisa coolly knocks down the second one. 19 seconds left in the game. The Bulldogs on top by 17. Goffstown gets it into the front court quickly. And now kicking over to the far side, or trying to.
Little guy took that ball off the head, I think.
Anthony Sindori knocked out of bounds by Matt Ferrucci. About 10 seconds left in the game. The Bulldogs by 17. Calhoun for 3.
Good for him.
Big 3 by the senior Calhoun. Bedford will have one last shot. We'll see if this young man, number 20, has a shot at a 3. He doesn't. Could have. And then he drains one after the clock expires. I mean, are you serious? You've got to take it, man. If you're in the game, take the shot. Final score from this one, Bedford 54. It's like a U.S. history lesson, 54-40. The final score in this game. This one truly the tale of two halves. And if you go even further than that, it's the tale of the first 24 minutes or the first 7 minutes and 50 seconds of the game, and then the last 23:50. Because don't forget, we had that end of the first period where Bedford wound up getting the free throw, making the bucket, and made it, instead of 18-7, it was 18-11 at the end of that first quarter. They had momentum. They made another bucket at the end of the second that was kind of almost like a meaningless bucket that made it 26-18 instead of 26-16. And then they came out in the second half like a house of fire.
You touched on it. That was the play that turned things around. Hustle play by Justin O'Neill. Emotional. He caught a shoulder in that play right beforehand and got fired up about that. Turned things around for him on the defensive end. And certainly it paid off in the third quarter as they turned things around on the offensive end.
And in case you're wondering, we don't have like the fancy truck with all of the stats and everything. So we're going to give you some stats that are sort of handmade, maybe wrong. So if you have a problem, you can email Bill Jennings at BCTV. Tell him about my inaccurate stats. But
he will promptly delete your email.
We had a grand total of 7 lead changes in that third quarter. 7 lead changes in the game. That was where the changes really happened. For Goffstown, we'll go through some of our point totals in the game. Derek Stekowicz led the way. He had 11. Robbie Bagidi, 9 points, playing point guard for Goffstown. Thomas Dutton with 8. John Kelly with 5. Miles Green with 4. And Daniel Calhoun coming up big. Calhoun with a 3 in the fourth quarter for Goffstown. On the other side of things, for the Bedford Bulldogs, the name that we kept mentioning in this second half, we said it over and over, Jordan Dyer. The man with the basketball, he was a man possessed. Jordan Dyer led the way. He had 17 for Bedford. Justin O'Neill had 11 for the Bulldogs, and 6 of them were free throws. Connor Butts with 9, 7 of those were free throws. JT DeLacy, or check that, Trey Ravenel also had 9. JT DeLacy with 3, and Danny Kaliza had 2. So pretty even distribution of scoring, but impressive for the Bulldogs. Getting the points from Dyer in that third period is where he did most of that damage.
Yeah, game ball for Dyer, a couple big threes, a couple nice floaters across the lane, and some excellent defensive plays on Robbie Bagidi, getting the hand in, some deflections leading to fast break points. So great job all around by Jordan Dyer tonight.
And if you had asked me at halftime, well, I guess the girls won by 15. The boys had been up by 17 until that 3 by Calhoun late. But if you had asked me at halftime who's going to win by a bigger margin, the boys or the girls, after knowing that the girls won by 15, I would have told you the girls far and away. And instead, the Bulldogs, who trailed it by 8 at the half, wind up winning by 14. So an impressive showing for Bedford, both boys and girls. And a lot of fun to be out here on a night like this where we have kind of an unorthodox basketball doubleheader. But I'm sure Corey Parker's now exhausted after a full afternoon of basketball. But our sincere thanks go out to Corey Parker and the Bedford High Athletic Department for allowing us to be out here and do all this stuff. Bill Jennings for the mad scramble to get the game, the girls' game, on TV, as well as George Cox doing the camera work as well. He keeps pointing like I know what he's talking about. But George Cox doing the mad scramble as well. George doing a great job with everything on camera as always. Harry Kozlowski manning the show on radio on 105.1. And, of course, my broadcast partner, Corey Munster-Tiger, for doing a great job. That was truly a lot of fun. There is still a space for Hanson, of course, but if Hanson ever can't make it, I'll certainly welcome Corey sitting next to me. So, again, my name is Lauren Fox. Your final here from the Bedford High Gym. Bedford Bulldogs 54, the Goffstown Grizzlies 40. You have been listening to Bedford High basketball on Bedford 105.1 and watching it on BCTV.